let's quickly congratulate the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Somehow we're able to get our way into the World Cup playoffs, the qualifiers for the playoffs. And it was a really good result, last day result for Nigeria. 4 goals to nil against Benin Republic. Hat-trick from Victor Osimhen. But one of the questions we've asked, or I've seen in the media, is where was this performance all along in the qualifiers?
I've always been very critical of the Super Eagles team because I know the level we were in Africa before.
Yeah.
And I know the level that we ought to aspire to be in. But it was a very good result, and we left it in the last day. We are just like the typical or the average Nigerian student who would not do their assignments until the last day, before submission.
Yeah.
Even the morning
Yeah.
the morning they have to submit, that's when they start rushing to do it. They leave studying late.
Yeah.
Because ideally, if you compare what we are doing now, we are basically celebrating that we have qualified for the playoffs. Remember, we still have to go through other teams like Gabon, for example,
Yeah.
and potentially a Cameroon team
Yes, in the
before we
finals.
qualify for the international
Playoffs, yes.
for the intercontinental playoffs.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we had a certain Portuguese national team, the Portuguese Selecao, that were angry that their national team failed to qualify on match day 4 from 6.
Yeah.
This is a team that needs just two draws from their next games, from their next 2 games, to be assured of a certain qualification.
Yeah.
They are angry. So if you have such a mentality now, if we as the fans of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, if we have this mentality and we're able to transmit it to the players, then they would know.
Yeah.
Whoever the coach is would know that we are not tolerating playoffs. We are not tolerating qualifying on the last day. We ought to have qualified before. Yeah. So because now, why other teams like South Africa, like the Ivorian national team, even Cape Verde, why they are celebrating, the South African national team, the Bafana, why they are celebrating,
Senegal,
that they've qualified.
Morocco, yeah.
We are celebrating that we are going to play in the first stage of a playoff. Because if we do beat Gabon, we could potentially meet Cameroon in the finals, and then we would now play an intercontinental. So that's why it's very, very difficult for me to celebrate the
Okay,
victory.
so for some people it was mixed feelings, really, saying that we had to struggle really and fight really hard to get ourselves into the playoff. 7 of the countries that qualified in Africa are coached by home-based local coaches. I think that should ring a bell in the head of the NFF. That of the countries that have qualified so far, 7 are coached by local coaches, and yet it looks like the Nigerian Football Federation is hell bent on getting us a foreign coach.
Now, this is it. The problem with getting a foreign-based coach is that we don't have a very large coaching pool to get qualitative coaches from. And I'll give you an example. I was researching the other day. I was trying to research on CAF courses for coaches. Now, getting information from the internet, on especially from the NFF website, was very, very Herculean.
Yeah.
At a point in time, like, I almost gave up. But then I checked. I saw that there are over 200,000 qualified coaches in Europe who have UEFA licenses.
Yeah.
Over 200,000 coaches. Although not all of them own grade A coaching licenses.
Yes.
But they have licenses. Now, take that to Nigeria. You first have to get a grade D license, after which you must now practice for another year. Before you get a grade C, you must practice for around 2 years. Before you get a grade B and practice for another 2 years.
Yeah.
Before you now apply for a grade A license. Now, guess how many times they run this course every year? 4 times. And guess how many coaches per batch? Just 25 coaches per batch. So it means that Nigeria, with a population of
Over 200
230
million,
million, over
yes.
230 million people.
Yes.
And ideally we're supposed to have divisions from 1 to 3, and then before you have other regional and state leagues. It means
Yes.
we only produce 100 qualified grade A coaches per year. Now, so like we should be exporting coaches too. Our coaches should be coaching in Ghana, in
Of course,
Liberia, in
yes.
Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
We should have a number of coaches who are coaching at the highest level.
Yeah.
So when we have these coaches that are coaching at the highest level, they cannot bring in the experiences that they have from different areas to coach our clubs. So now when you have quality coaches, I'm not saying there are not quality coaches in our leagues, but the competition is it's ridiculously low.
Yeah.
It's like asking a student that came first in from a school that had 1,000 participants in the exams versus another another student that came first from a school that had just 8 students or 10 students.
Yeah.
So the quality is not the same. Much has to be done because how many Nigerian coaches can you even name? You understand the point? So that's why it's very, very hard to see them. Like we should be saying, okay, the coach that won the league for Benin Insurance last season, the coach that came second for Enyimba last 2 seasons, we should be, hypothetically, Benin Insurance did not win the league last season though, but we should be saying, okay, this guy is fit for the Super Eagles job. That's the level I think we should be in.
Yeah, remembering that we had a time where there was a time when Stephen Keshi was in charge of national teams in Africa and even qualified
Togo.
Yeah, Togo even qualified them for the World Cup. I think he also coached in Mali national team or somewhere. So the NFF needs to find a way around these programs so that we can have more quality coaches coming out of Nigeria. It will improve our league and, of course, ultimately improve the Super Eagles. So congratulations to Nigeria. We look forward to the playoffs and we hope that somehow we're able to scale the hurdle, which will be really tough. Those teams from South America can be really tough
Asia too.
if we make it out of the African qualifiers.
In fact, for them to get there, it means the playoff is very, very tricky.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
Because every team you are playing knows that they have to prove themselves within 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not like they have a league, cup competitions are always very different from
straight knockout, yes.
Than league competitions. So, for example, I can play you, lose to you, and recover with other matches.
So there's no margin for error.
There's no margin for error, and you can be surprised. It's not like you like we won our last 2 games. We don't have that luxury of leaving it late.
Yeah.
Drawing.
Yeah.
You
have to be on your game.
You understand
on the day for that particular one.
But then I noticed something again that I really feel we have to talk about. I was not impressed with the antics of the Super Eagles goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali, who has now been named Bahubali on social media. I was not impressed with his antics. We had a lot at stake in that match.
Yeah.
So no matter how provoked he was, he had no business trying to fight with the opposition, trying to start up issues. It's a contact sport. The referee is there, and then we needed as much goals as possible. From the first half, he was already doing this delay antics, and I was really frustrated because I just felt that they basically, just like we were making permutations with our calculators, I felt they should have made theirs from their training sessions, from their hotel, the conversations that the meetings that they had in the hotels and everything. There ought to be a certain level of pride, and this is because there's a certain nonchalance that comes with with our Super Eagles players nowadays that shouldn't be there. There should be a certain level of seriousness. There should be a certain level of pride that you are representing over 230 million people. Now, imagine if he approached the Benin Republic player and wanted to start a fight, and let's say the other person started a fight with him, or let's say he hit that person, he had lost control of his temper because indeed he had to ask him what's going on, and even push the captain away. Now, imagine he had gotten a red card. Just like Chelsea had a red card against Manchester United a few weeks ago. that would have killed the game for us,
Of
because
course.
at that point we were leading by just 1 goal.
Yeah.
So that would have given Benin Republic a way back into the game. And mind you, the Benin Republic coach is a very experienced manager that coached the Super Eagles before. So to an extent, he understands how we play. And even if he has not worked with the vast majority of the present team, he would have watched them closely.
And that particular incident you referred to, when Nwabali held the ball, there was no whistle from
Yes,
the ref. So
yes,
he
yes,
dropped the ball.
yes. It could
The
have been
player
a
kicked
goal.
it into the net.
Yes, it could
And
have been a goal.
I think the referee was just being nice, because that would have been that was supposed to
Yes,
be a goal,
yes,
because there was no whistle
because
initially.
I don't have access to the Beninois press, but I think they would have been, they would be making podcasts, videos of the incident.
Yeah.
They would be writing on their press that they were robbed. And if you look, except like the referee was, I think the referee was trying to communicate to the Beninois striker that had already called for a free kick, but there was no whistle.
Yeah, at the point he
Yes,
dropped the ball.
I did not hear it. The players did not hear it. I think I thought Nwabali, or Bahubali as is now called.
Yes, I think maybe Nwabali has become too confident. When
Yes,
you feel like you cannot be dropped from the team, you feel like you are you had a great Nations Cup, but Nigerians can move on. We have I think that we have
other options, not
other
better
options.
options, but other options.
Whether they are better or not, we cannot tell yet, because they've not been given a run in the team.
I used to watch
also.
Amas Obasoge every week.
So
That guy is literally a magnet.
Nwabali should be careful.
He should be.
For the playoffs, he has to keep his temper in check.
He has
we cannot afford
that
such
kind
dramas.
of
Episode in the playoffs.